Welcome into the Super Awesome Podcast. I am Bald Pool because I can't be Dog Pool, and I am joined with Captain Mutant
Hello.
and Fat Pool,
Hey.
Obese Pool. What's going on in your lives since we last spoke?
Fat pool's easier to say.
What's going on since the last recording on Wednesday? I went to the movie theater and boy was it something.
Wow. I also went to the movie theater,
Yeah. That's what a coincidence.
and I have a feeling that Bald Pool also went to the movie theater.
You know, I may have done that.
But aside from that, I purchased a brand new car yesterday.
What?
No more.
No more.
Did
I
you trade that thing?
Traded it in.
I can't
What did you
believe
get?
it.
Like $200?
50 cents.
$500.
500? Sheesh.
I mean, to be
it's pretty
fair,
generous, to be honest.
I don't think I would pay $500.
Yeah, they said they're going to send it right to auction. I ain't going to touch it.
Yeah,
But I got
that's
a brand
that's
new.
a project for somebody else.
I got a brand new Chevy Trailblazer.
Eh.
And gotta say, I like it a lot. And it's very quiet and it has air conditioning. And all windows roll down. It's great.
We're moving up in life.
We sure are. Great purchase.
You say it's
And,
brand
found out a
new?
lot of things about my credit score and how it's drastically different.
What do you mean?
What is it?
Won't go into details, but it's pretty good. And by pretty good, I mean like really good. But
Noted.
also, I don't know how credit works, and credit is stupid.
No, credit's fucking annoying. You're better
Like,
off
pay
having
off your car early. Craziness. Drop those points by 30.
Yeah, you better not pay it off early because that'll negatively affect you. It's so stupid.
What you made payments on it over the course of a long time. Bump it up 40 points.
No, well, the reason your credit is affected badly when you pay it off early is because the bank doesn't get as much money as they expected from you. So they're
Want
like,
that
"Well,
interest."
we're gonna fuck you kinda because of that."
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Quite interesting. Credit Karma. If anybody out there uses it, any listeners of the Super Awesome Podcast,
Credit Karma's not accurate.
Credit Karma is wildly inaccurate.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't use it for a baseline at all. Download the Experian app. Not a sponsor.
Not a paid sponsor, just experience.
Yes.
Watch, we're gonna have somebody. Credit Karma's gonna knock on our door. Heard you were talking shit.
Well, all I was doing this week was being on vacation and doing mostly nothing, drinking, swimming in the pool, the
How about
Deadpool, and Wolverine, which is what we're going to be covering.
Wolverine was there.
Yeah, I haven't done shit.
Speaking of pools,
Had some gator tail yesterday, so that was good.
gator
Oh,
tail.
dude.
I've had gator before.
Yeah,
I've
it's great.
always wanted to try it. What's the consistency? What's the texture?
I always hear chicken.
Well, I've had it twice now, and the first time was a little tougher, but this time it was great. It was it's chicken-ish, but it's not completely like chicken. I don't know. It's not like frog leg or anything.
Yeah, I just had frog legs over I think like Thursday, something like that.
Where'd you
At
have
a
frog
restaurant.
legs?
It was at a restaurant in Xenia.
In Xenia?
Yeah,
Where?
I think it's called Rich's or Nick's Restaurant, something like that.
Not a sponsor.
Also
Nick's-
not a sponsor.
Where
It's
where at
all-
in Xenia?
Dude, I don't know. It's downtown.
Yeah, I used to deliver every single fucking business downtown.
I don't know. I didn't drive.
Shit. Because I can't think of any place that would sell fucking frog legs.
You know, often
But-
when I don't drive, I don't pay attention to where I am.
Yeah, that's basically what I was doing. I was
I'm
chilling.
a passenger princess. Damn it.
But yeah, they had frog legs there, and the second I saw them on the menu, I was like, "Yo, we're getting these," and they were pretty fucking tasty.
Hmm.
Scrumdiddly.
Feeling
Were they-
froggy.
Were they big?
They were good size.
Would you say they're more like long or girthy?
Some were girthy, some were long and lean. They served it with rice, and I didn't eat any of the rice, like with the frog legs, because I thought that would taint the experience.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Long
we're just
legs
eating
or
gators and
girthy
frogs.
legs.
Do do what?
I don't fucking know. Anyway, Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool
No,
Wolverine.
wait. I wanted to go into a quick story regarding a pool experience I had with Danders.
Oh God.
So I
Talking
had
about
Danders come over to my apartment one time to go swim in my pool. It
just the
was
two
kind
of
of
us.
it was kind of a rainy day out, but it was still hot enough to justify swimming. And the plan was to have some other people come. They ended up
Ladies.
bailing because they were scared of the weather. But Danders showed up, good old Danders, and we said, "Hey, let's go swimming anyway. I'm sure it'll be fine." And turns out that there was not anybody else in the pool other than me and Danders, and it's a big pool and
And there
two
were
really attractive male lifeguards
Yep, and they were just watching us
that couldn't
swim back
speak
and
English
forth.
well.
Yeah, that was what an experience
And,
that I got to have with you that day.
and Danders said, "Hey, let's have a who can hold their breath longer."
Was it me that did that? Was it me?
But it goes without saying that I won that. More volume in my lungs.
Oh,
That's my
Christ.
story, and I'm
That was
sticking to it.
that was a great day.
Very intimate day in the pool.
Oh, I wanted to be dead in that pool. I tell you what. All right,
Speaking of,
Deadpool and Wolverine, released July 26th, 2024, directed by Sean Levy, written by Ryan Reynolds, Rhett Reese, Paul Warnick, and Sean Levy. It was produced by Marvel Studios, Maximum Effort, which is Ryan Reynolds' production company that he started, and 21 Laps Entertainment, distributed by Walt Disney Motion Pictures, starring Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Emma Corrin, and Rob Delaney. Had a budget of 200 million, and as of the 27th, I think the morning of the 27th, she's already made 211 million. So I'll be interested to see how that continues to grow. Did you guys have any fun facts that you found out there?
No.
Oh, all right.
we should start off by saying that we're not going to spoil this movie completely, but it's going to be mild spoilers for those of you listening.
Probably put that in the description and in the title.
Yeah. So,
But yeah.
But I will say that Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds' wife, does make some sort of appearance in this movie. That's all I'll say. And also their kids, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' kids, make an appearance in this movie as well, and it's pretty cool.
Well,
that's all I got.
Hot scrambly dabblies. I only have a few. It is the first MCU movie with an R rating, and I saw that Disney might make a like Marvel R brand for characters similar to Deadpool.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Disney doing something right.
Yeah,
they'll fuck it up. Don't worry.
So I had that they shot half of the film before the writer's strike, and Disney paid to keep the sets up until they were done. I saw they did like 35 days of filming, and then the break, and then they had roughly 35 left. And then to prepare for his role, Hugh Jackman had a crazy workout regimen, and he was eating sometimes around 8,000 calories a day, which is kind of insane.
No, he looks
normal Wednesday for me.
Hey, buddy, come on.
And guess what? None of that gets burned off.
No, Hugh Jackman looks well. He looks ridiculous in most of the movies he's Wolverine in, except the first X-Men. You ever watch like the first one and you're like, he looks like small, and then you see like X-Men Origins or whatever, and he's like, doing his stereotypical Wolverine pose, or not stereotypical, whatever you want to call it, classic. I mean, but this movie, he looks even more ridiculous.
What is that? Swordfish? He's probably doing that around the same time. But yeah, I don't know. All right, so
definitely on the juice.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
You're not mid-50s with veins popping all out of your arms and going.
Maybe he's just on some tea.
Yeah, called. There's an S before it. Like steroids.
I saw that it had an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the last thing that I had was for anybody that's a fan of the Hot Ones YouTube show
I
thing,
watched that. It was great.
yeah, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are on there, and I
Oh,
thought,
really?
yeah, I thought
Oh,
it
I
was
need to see that episode
yeah,
immediately.
I I wanted to watch it before we left for the theater because I saw it right before, but we had to go, so I watched it afterwards, and yeah, it's pretty solid episode.
They're promoting like crazy. They're on like every little
Mm-hmm.
thing you
I
can
saw
find.
them on a lie detector test. They seem like truly good friends, and I think that their chemistry shows throughout in this
Oh yeah,
movie.
chemistry is fantastic in this movie between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watching
And
watching them in these interviews and doing these little promotion things, like they genuinely look like they're having a good time, which is fun to see, I
it
guess.
seems like Ryan Reynolds is just trying to get Hugh Jackman to break and laugh at everything. It's great.
Yeah, kind of has like a WWE vibe, like them
A little
trying to
bit,
break
yeah.
Undertaker all the time.
I will say, Ryan Reynolds, when he gets into character for Deadpool, there is no getting into character. He's just like, I'm gonna do this character as myself, but in a mask.
And it works.
Yeah, I
Sure
guess.
does. I would
uh,
argue that this one's better than the first two.
I'd say it's the first one is like its own thing because it's like kind of a first of its kind. Uh, but I will say this one's definitely better than the second one.
Yeah, I didn't rate this one as high as I rated the first one on our super awesome podcast, Deadpool episode. If you want to go check that out.
I'd say I enjoy this one more. It's just because Wolverine's in it. Like the
Yeah.
story is not that great, not much to it. Uh, and any of the dramatic scenes, they all go to Hugh Jackman. Like you know what I mean? Like and any of the story is just based around Hugh Jackman also. So Wolverine totally steals the show for this whole movie. Like Deadpool's entertaining. It's a little too much Ryan Reynolds, honestly. But Wolverine. This is why you go to see this movie because Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the plot leaves something to be desired. It's not that great, but it really doesn't have to be great. So normally, characters drive the plot drive the characters, but yeah, the characters drove the plot in this one. It's just surrounded by cameos and fights and
Yeah,
funny moments.
this movie's
And
like kind of one big gimmick. Like,
it
what
is.
can we do to get a lot of people to come down to see this?
Well,
Wolverine.
Just
it's
throw
it's.
Wolverine in it. That's all they needed.
I mean, as far as like gimmicky, they have to. I think I read like a lot of their struggle bringing Deadpool into an already established MCU. Like they kind of just. I think the gimmicky thing is like how you do it, like the all these cameos and just the way Ryan Reynolds and team wrote it. Like I can't think of another way to do it. And yeah, they. How much of this are we spoiling? Like, how much into the plot can we talk about?
I don't know. I feel like most
Yeah.
people already know that it's going to be like a multi-universe time jumpy.
Okay,
I
so
feel like people have seen enough of things like Dogpool, for instance, that we could talk about.
Like everybody knows there's going to be alternate versions of Deadpool and Wolverine and shit.
Yeah. So
I think if we just stay away from the Dr. Xavier lady a little bit or something.
oh, I was just gonna say the way they handled the multiverse thing, like by making fun of it.
Yeah.
That I mean, that's like predominantly why I haven't watched any of the MCU movies is because it's all
That's all
tied
it is.
together and it's confusing as shit with the all these different realities. And
Like, isn't the Captain Marvel movie just more like universe jumping? Well, Matthew, you've seen it, right?
yeah, I've
no
no idea.
I don't know if it's quite like universe jumping, but more like dimension jumping. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It
Like
just
multiple dimensions, variants of shit. And the Doctor Strange one's like that too, where they're just jumping around and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, I've just stayed away from all these Disney Marvel movies just because of that, and to see them like make fun of it and kind of speak how I feel about it, where I'm like, this is just a tired plot device that maybe was interesting in the beginning, and I know it exists in the comics as well, but it's just for the casual fan, it makes it unnecessarily confusing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just small brained, but I'm just like, eh. So for them to come in and make fun of it and then still do it anyway, I thought was funny, but they did kind of like attack Disney, like really let them attack Disney and the way that they've handled a lot of things. I was kind of surprised by that. So I guess leads me to a question. Were you guys surprised at how much Disney let them get away with?
A little bit,
No.
especially after watching The Acolyte.
Well, those people aren't in charge of writing this movie. That's why I'm like,
They're not in
Disney
charge of
knows they're
writing
going
it,
to
but
make $1 billion.
well, I mean, they don't write it, but they do have like the final green light, that has to be given.
It just comes back to
they wouldn't make $1 billion if they're like, you can't say any of that stuff. Somebody might get offended. It's like,
I'm saying like
you're not going to make $1 billion.
Even the
Money.
attack on Disney, like they like them basically calling them out for the whole tired multiverse thing.
Well, I think that was expected.
Yeah.
Okay, just again from our Deadpool episode on Super Awesome Podcast. I don't. Ryan Reynolds wouldn't have done it. And
Yeah,
definitely
no.
Hugh Jackman if there was any restrictions to what they wanted to do.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, if they weren't allowed creative freedom, or allowed to point or make jabs at Disney, then I don't think they would have done it, because then it would have just been a fucking like a really diet version of Deadpool. You know what I mean? It would have been dumbed down. It would not have been as cool. Even though I do think
What's
diet. It's where you consume less or
no
alternate versions of what you would normally.
I don't like that. I do like how they make fun of Fox a lot, though, in this movie, especially with their logo being
that was
destroyed in the background.
Yeah,
so that's pretty funny.
Saying you don't want like the diet version of the movie. I do think they went overkill on the swearing for some reason, like to where it was like not believable anymore. I swear to God, like the first like 40 minutes of the movie, every other word that Wolverine says is "shut the fuck up." Fuck you. What are you talking about? Fuck off.
You motherfucker.
You motherfucker. That's
I
like
I heard that line several times.
That's all he says.
I did take notice to that.
It's like,
the movie's definitely not kid friendly. Or should I say kid pool friendly?
No.
Or I guess it would be kid pool friendly because he's the dirtiest of them all.
Sure. Yeah. He's like, whatever. Says lots of bad things.
He sure does.
So real quick, back on I had a question about, or two questions about the multiverse thing. Like, were you guys worried about that going into it?
No, I expected it. So, and I think they did it kind of cool. And they actually, a tip to the hat to the real comic book nerds out there, because when they were going, like, you see all the different Wolverines, it's like all different iterations from real comics of versions of Wolverine, like different time periods and different shit like that. I thought
the 5-3 one was.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Pure joy.
Mm-hmm.
I always am confused by that. Why was the original Wolverine? Why did they make him 5'3"?
I think it's to give him short guy syndrome, where he wants to fight all the time. Adds to his little rage.
They could make him like normal size. 5'3". You know how short? I'm not a real tall guy. Look, that's 5'3" is an inch taller than Serena.
Yeah.
They show some great variants of Logan in this movie, and I appreciate it.
I like the Henry Cavill Wolverine.
Cavalrine.
Yeah. he was looking swole.
He was.
He was like, he was gigantic.
Yeah.
Did you guys avoid any spoilers to like the who would be doing cameos in this movie?
Oh yeah, we saw opening weekend, so
I didn't look up anything about this movie.
I watched the trailer. Rhea went in blind,
so I went in pretty blind too. So I had saw that there was some leaks prior, so I didn't see any. So I was surprised by every single cameo. Which I don't know if we're gonna do this or not, but which cameo
spoilers?
cameo spoilers. Eat shit. What was your favorite cameo?
Well, the one I didn't see coming was fucking Blade. I didn't see Wesley Snipes. I was like, what? Oh shit! So I thought that was cool. He doesn't really do anything. He fights a little bit, and then he says cool shit like, "Yeah, I'm Blade." It's like all he said.
Blade.
I'm the only
Never
Blade.
will be. Bread.
I don't know if I have a favorite really.
Or I guess what was the most surprising to you?
I don't really know. I just I don't know if I have a favorite cameo, but I think my favorite part was Dogpool. Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
And how Ryan Reynolds lets that dog get right up in there, lick him right in the mouth.
You got
also
nice
pool. I really appreciated
nice pool.
When he got shot the fuck up, that actually made me laugh. When he's like, "All right, how long does it take you to regenerate?" And he's like, "Regenerate," and he's got like 90 bullet holes in him.
Of course, it's the one that doesn't regenerate. But I wanted to ask. So Deadpool and Wolverine, as it's shown in the trailers, they fight a couple times. And what did you guys think of their fight? Did you think that Wolverine and Deadpool would be on equal terms, or did you think that Wolverine would just annihilate him?
Well, Wolverine gets the best of them each time they
ultimately.
Fight. But no, I was going to mention that. Well, what was your favorite cameo?
What's my name?
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Hey, my favorite cameo is don't do that either. My favorite cameo was the Storm or not Storm. What? Marvel Fantastic Four, not Storm. I don't know. Johnny, I said that. Johnny Storm. Yeah. Because they kind of built it up like it was going to be Captain America, and then he does the flame on thing, and that shit made me bust out laughing. That was for some reason I wasn't expecting that, because I guess at that point that's like the first one you see.
He's the first.
They let you know that they're using like some old shit from Fox. So that one caught me off guard, and I got a good chuckle out of that. And then as far as the fight goes, yeah, I think Wolverine best of 10.
Well, at one point they fight in a minivan, and that was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Let's talk about the Honda Odyssey. Let's take a step.
Take a deep dive on the Honda Odyssey. Captain, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this.
Well, no, I was going to talk about their fighting.
Oh, okay. Oh,
one thing right. I think that they got more comic book accurate about the fighting is how fucking strong Wolverine is, because Wolverine is like throwing because Deadpool's like stronger than normal, obviously. But Wolverine's like superhuman, like super mutant strength. And he was like throwing Deadpool through walls and shit, and ultimately besting Deadpool every time. Like when in their first fight, he's like, "Let's see you regrow your fucking head." He's about to chop his head off, and he's like, "Whoa, hold on." I just thought that was great, because I feel like in the other X-Men, like he's strong, but he's not like how strong he should be, because Wolverine's strong as fuck.
I also feel like his healing is not fast enough in some of the older movies.
Yeah.
I feel like it took them a couple times to actually get his healing right, and I thought it was good in this as well.
Yeah, no, they both heal super fast in this one.
Yeah,
which I think is what it should be. But the Honda Odyssey.
What year? What make and model?
Oh, I don't know. I know it's not a 97.
Damn. It did have the slidey doors, didn't it?
Yeah.
Sad.
Everybody out there, there's a following for Honda Odysseys. But the best Honda Odysseys are like the 96, 97s, where instead of the slidey doors for a minivan, the doors are just this giant door that opens out, and they're sweet. But they trashed the Honda Odyssey. I mean, that one they're driving is hideous. I'm not a fan of those. I like the 97's my favorite.
All right. Well, glad
I just think that fight scene was great. Like, how can they make a fight inside of a van great? And it's actually a long fight. It's not short. And it's great. Really appreciated that part of the movie.
Do you think a boost in Odyssey sales will happen?
No. No.
I don't know. Pretty cool ride. I think they
I
changed.
bet you're regretting getting a Trailblazer when you could have got a Honda Odyssey.
You're right. Damn it.
Kind of embarrassing, actually. Um, I do have like a super duper spoiler question, so peel out now. Um, do you think the Thor holding Deadpool thing will ever get explained?
Probably not.
No.
Sad. Sad. And then
I appreciated the cameo though.
do you guys so there was another cameo for Gambit and would you guys have any interest in seeing a Gambit movie? I saw that at one
No.
point there was uh they were working on a script or something, but it fell through.
I wouldn't have been interested.
No,
I,
I don't think.
I would predict a Green Lantern type performance in that movie.
I just don't think Gambit has a big enough fan base. I'm sure. I mean, there's Serena would want to see it. She's a fan of Gambit. I just think
They
his
did him
power.
justice.
Yeah, I mean, he did the Gambit stuff, and he had that Cajun fucking ridiculous accent.
It's like, what the hell are you saying? Yeah, that was good.
I was surprised to see Elektra because who cares? Elektra's lame. She's just a chick with like those weird knives. That's
She
it.
bashes
Actually, don't.
Ben Affleck though, and that's funny.
Yeah,
No, I don't like Daredevil either. He's just a blind dude.
I haven't watched the.
They should have an alternate version where it's like Ray Charles and he's beating up people instead of fucking playing piano.
Some Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter, but Ray Charles, superhero.
How come blind people are so good at playing piano? You got Ray Charles, you got shit, what's the country singer guy's name? Well, that fucks up my whole thing.
You heard it here first.
They're both blind. They're blind and
one
they play
example.
piano. Stevie Wonder.
Go. I was like, surprised you didn't lead with that one. Though
I'm
there are theories that he's not actually blind.
Maybe none of them are blind.
Conspiracy.
Um,
They kind of they stole some things. Well, I don't know if you call it stealing, but they took some things from other Marvel movies and incorporated it into this movie. Don't want to get too much into how the movie ends, but very Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to that. And also they kind of went from everything. This is in the trailers, I believe, so it's not really a spoiler, but they kind of take from everything everywhere all at once, where they have the worst version of Logan in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And I kind of appreciated his story. Wasn't too maybe I'm just missing it, but I wasn't too clear on what exactly happened. I know he explains it, but he doesn't really go into detail. Really, it's kind of vague.
No, that was an issue I had with it because they keep referencing on how he let everybody down or whatever in his universe and how he fucked up, and I'm like, and then when he's getting into it, they don't really get into it. I'm like, that's the most interesting part of this whole plot is what's the deal with this version of Wolverine, and we don't really ever find out like what happened.
I describe this movie as top heavy. Kind of like my Dynasty lineup. It's top heavy, not a lot of depth.
Same.
But boy, when it fires on all cylinders, it sure is dangerous.
No, the action scenes, that's the thing. They're like, let's cover up some of this weak plot with intense action sequences. And they're great.
I would like to reiterate that
very violent.
It sounds like we're kind of bashing the plot, but the plot is, again, it's not super important to this movie. It's still a good movie, and I recommend seeing it.
Yeah, I definitely think with all the, I don't know, universe hopping or portals and whatnot, like I didn't hate it as much as I like that element. I did not hate it as much as I was expecting to. I think they managed to do it in a very intriguing way, and it's funny. The whole thing's funny. So,
well, can we talk about movie theaters for 1 second? So obviously this is a big blockbuster movie. And I'm just gonna say, the older I get, I think the less I like movie theaters. Like it's cool to go to a movie theater, especially on a big movie like this. But other people really ruin it. The past couple times I've gone to a movie theater, somebody's sitting in the wrong goddamn seat, and I end up sitting right next to somebody who could have moved over because it was a pretty empty theater, but they were sitting in the wrong seat. So I get to sit right next to Serena and some other chick that I don't know right there. Whatever. And because she's in the wrong fucking seat. And then another time before that, somebody's in the wrong seat. But then this time, nobody was in the incorrect seat. So we got to sit in our seats. And also, this is the first time in fucking forever where it was a damn near fully packed out theater. Haven't seen that in a really long time.
Was it regular theater seating or was it like the recliner seating?
It was this theater was recliner shit.
Okay.
But either way, so we get in there. We're running late because she had a fucking eye appointment thing, whatever. People wear glasses have to go see doctors and shit. Ugh, y'all are lame
losers.
No,
man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But so we were running late, so we get in there and we get our seats, and then she goes and gets some like popcorn or whatever. Way too much popcorn, by the way. You ever get that large ass bucket and then you eat like half of it and you're like, oh God, what have I done? But okay, so she's in the concession stand and there's this lady, like there's her seat and there's a lady that she's going to be sitting next to like the whole time. And this lady's going like this, like
Audio.
this, I know it's whatever. It was like this hockaloogie type fucking sound, like in her sinuses, like every few minutes. And I was like, and she was over there getting popcorn. So I'm just sitting here waiting, like watching previews, and I keep hearing that noise. I'm like, oh God, this is going to be the whole fucking time. And then when she comes back and is sitting there and she's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I knew that was, it's like, there's always something. It's like, what? Ugh.
I had an interesting experience.
Yeah. I would have paid to watch this at the house instead of go to fucking movie theater.
We show up, movie theater's packed, sold out. We get our seats. All, by the way, always purposely buy the edge seats and sit on the edge. So I just sit next to Rhea. And then I force Rhea to sit next to somebody random. But the person she happened to sit next to was also a larger set fella that was there by himself. And for once, I wasn't the one falling asleep in the theater. It was that guy next to her.
No, that lady fell asleep too. And then she was full on snoring. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this guy snored a couple times. But also, after the movie, I went to the bathroom.
He was a seatbelt extension type guy?
He was. He sure was. But after the movie, went to the restroom as one does, and I was one of the first to get there, and went to the urinal, of course. And
you don't sit
like
down?
three or four other urinals. No, I don't sit down anymore, Captain.
Oh,
you want to go more in depth about that?
I just come across.
Well, it's because I kept every time I would sit down, it would dip in the water. You know what I mean?
You must have long balls.
Anyway, there's three or four open urinals, and what you know it, the classic, the guy that comes in after me gets the urinal right next to me.
That makes me want to fight.
Was it like was there several in between, or is he just like, I'm gonna stand right next to you?
He could have chose the other two that were on the other end.
Then that guy's a piece of shit.
That's when you just piss on him.
That's what I did. The old kind of leaned a little bit the other direction and pissed on the side of the urinal. Normally, I like to piss on the urinal cake itself, but not this.
I like to get an angle so there's no splashing. You get that angle on the side and it kind of swoops down. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if you piss straight on the urinal cake, it'll like if there's like it'll splash back up on you, and then you got piss all over yourself.
But speaking of pissing,
you ever when you were kids try to stand back as far as possible from the urinal and see how far you can piss into
it? Can't say I've done that.
But pissing in a regular toilet, I like to flush it and then piss into the vortex as it flushes.
Yeah, I like to time it.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the classic pee stream to get the poop marks off the porcelain.
Ugh, God.
Speaking
power washing.
P in the color. Hugh Jackman's suit as Wolverine. First time he puts on the yellow suit.
And he has the mask. It's great.
Spoilers. Yeah, the mask was sick. Um, well, that's all I got for notes. If we're gonna leave out the Xavier lady, do you guys want to dive into your super awesome ratings?
Sure.
Captain,
Yeah,
you can start us off. Go ahead.
If we don't want to spoil the end, we talked enough about it to where we didn't ruin the ending, I guess. We didn't really talk about the main antagonist either. So yeah, go check out Deadpool Wolverine. We didn't ruin it too much for you.
Is that your rating?
No, I was just saying check it out. Now we'll do the ratings. Fuck. I give it a fucking 0 now. Fucking don't go see the movie.
All right, I'm going first. Screw you. I'm going to say fun buddy movie. I like the way it makes the multiverse, makes fun of it, and then uses it anyway. I thought the fight choreography was good. The costume designs are very good. I loved the cameos. Still shocked Disney didn't ruin this. Hugh Jackman makes this movie for me. Very Wolverine. Never misses. I give it an 8.7 out of 10. Super awesomes. Very fun. Highly recommend go watch it.
Okay.
All right. Super awesomes on the super awesome scale for super awesome ratings of Deadpool Wolverine. Absolutely go see this movie because of Wolverine. That's it. That's pretty much it. Plot's not all that great. The action is fucking awesome. It's definitely a bro movie. It's like a comic book nerd movie and just bro because there's so much.
It's a little like
brutal violence,
buddy copish ish.
Yeah, well, there's that also, but I'm just saying, every fucking 10 minutes is a huge fight scene. Finally seeing the yellow suit is awesome. You get to see cameos of a bunch of stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. So that's cool.
I remember.
But yeah, I'd give this movie an 8.5. But I think I didn't intentionally do this, but last night, so I watched the movie yesterday. So this is a huge blockbuster movie. Went and saw it. It's great. It's whatever. But later on that evening, I watched another huge blockbuster movie, and I was like, wow, they're not even on the same level. I watched Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and I was like, this movie is so much better than Deadpool Wolverine. I'm not trying to bash Deadpool Wolverine because that movie is good too. But Terminator 2 is just everything about it's good. Action's good. Story's good. Character development is good. It builds upon the last movie perfectly. It's so much better than Deadpool Wolverine, but that's not relevant. Deadpool Wolverine 8.5. Go check it out. Super awesome.
All right, super awesome ratings on the Super Awesome podcast for the Super Awesome Deadpool and Wolverine movie. This movie is very fun. I enjoyed it all the way through. The soundtrack is very good. I listened to a lot of it on the drive home. I appreciated all the cameos. Loved Dogpool. Deadpool and Wolverine's chemistry is awesome. Really appreciated Hugh Jackman's the way he went about it this time. And the fight scenes were awesome, especially the minivan fight. And yeah, I really appreciate this movie, and it's rare that a movie lives up to the hype, and I think it definitely did live up to the hype despite what anybody thinks about it. And I'm going to give it a 8.9 super awesomes out of 10.
Oh, I forgot. The running joke of that Ryan Reynolds Deadpool's doing Marvel Jesus, that was funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciated that
because he's got to save Marvel. I'm Marvel Jesus. Yeah, I thought that was great.
You guys have any other final thoughts?
No, just I thought it was hilarious when he told Logan or Wolverine that he's joining the MCU at a low point. I appreciated that joke.
Yeah. I guess my only final thought is they were able to do this without kind of ruining the ending of Logan. I thought that was really important to them writing it. And it was part of the reason that I think Hugh Jackman signed on was if they didn't kind of tarnish that ending, since the ending of Logan was so good. So that was cool.
The fucking when Deadpool puts on his claws in that opening fight thing. That was fucking sweet.
That was cool, and I appreciated what he used in that fight to get things done.
Yeah.
Don't want to say what he used, but still very hilarious.
Go check it out.
Yeah, definitely worth watching. Well,
I was gonna say it's one of the first Marvel movies to come out in a while. That's worth going to see in a movie theater.
Yeah,
high praise from Captain over here.
What he's saying? Venture on out. Go sit next to some big old lady making
some lady
bad breathing noises. Totally worth it. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Super Awesome Podcast. Next week, spinning the wheel, it's going to land on Predator.
Oh, yeah.
One. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating on our Spotify. That'd be cool. Super awesome. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's all I got.
Keep a lookout for future giveaways.
Oh. Okay.
Peace.